Hello, friends, and welcome to your Friday Pick a charm reading. We're doing things a little bit differently because it is the fifth Friday in the month, and my rules, my plans, my strategy at the moment is if we have 5 Fridays in a month, on the fifth one you're going to get a charm reading. So I bet you're all going to be hoping and praying that we have 5 Fridays in most months, because I know how much you all enjoy the charm readings. So I have got a charm casting board here on the table in front of me. I have got my tarot tiles, and I have got my little bowl of charms on the table, and I have got 3 little shoe charms here to help you choose a bundle, to choose a reading, to choose a charm reading. So if this is the first time you're doing charm reading with me, let me explain to you how it works. So basically on this particular board, and this particular board is actually a pendulum board, so it's supposed to be used for a pendulum, but the way that I work is I take, and for each of us today, I'm going to use the tarot tiles and the charm, so you're getting extra. And I don't have a question, I don't have a kind of topic or anything in mind. The intention is that whatever comes through is what is needed to come through, and you choose one of these 3 as to guide you towards a reading. So whether it be the butterfly, whether it be the cute little unicorn, or the puppy dog, so you let those be the guide to help you choose a reading. And then when we're doing the individual readings, I'm going to grab a handful of tarot, I'm going to grab a handful of charms, and I'm just going to drop them on the board, and wherever they land. So for example, if something lands in the block of family, I'm going to interpret the charm or the tarot in that block as its meaning and its message. And I'm going to go through the board and I'm going to read and interpret in the way that I read and interpret. So the 3 readings will be completely different. The only similarity between the readings will be the fact that they're using the board, the fact that they're using tarot tiles, and the fact that they're using the charms. That's the only similarity, but everything else is going to be completely different. At the time of recording this intro, I have not recorded the readings yet, so I have no idea what's coming through. I do get so excited, so excited. And you know what, all we're going to do is trust that whatever comes through is relevant and appropriate for you, is exactly what it is that you need to hear. And I'm sure the way that you hear it, listening to the reading, the way that you hear it will be relevant and appropriate to you as well, because you'll adjust it to whatever is relevant in your life and whatever is appropriate in your life. So all you really have to do is decide, are you connected to the butterfly? Are you connected to the unicorn, or are you connected to the puppy dog? Let me show you a little bit closer. So we have the cute little butterfly. We have the extra cute little unicorn. I mean, even is it with its little heart on its back as well. It's so cute. And then, of course, we have the gorgeous, gorgeous puppy dog. So which of the 3 are you drawn to? Which of the 3 do you fancy? Let that be your guide. If you want to listen to all 3, absolutely go for it, because they're going to be completely different. I have, like I said at the stage, absolutely no idea what their readings and messages are going to be. So you can absolutely listen to all 3. You can start the butterfly and move your way down to the puppy dog with absolute pleasure. If you want to do one a day, if you want to do one every couple of days, however you want to do it, there's no rules. There's no rules here, friends. Absolutely no rules. The only thing I do ask in return is, if you enjoy the reading, if you enjoy the video, to give it a thumbs up. I'd love a comment from you below as to which one you chose and what it means to you, because by doing that, you're also letting YouTube know that by interacting with the video, you're letting YouTube know that it's good content, and that means that YouTube will promote the video and get more people to see it, which will help the channel. So if you want to help me and ensure that I bring you these fun and interesting and hopefully helpful readings, that's the best way to support my channel. And of course, the other thing you could do is to click the join button down. Oopsie, I didn't mean to bump the camera. The join button down here to join the YouTube channel memberships, small monthly subscription, and you get access to a whole lot of information with me as well. Right, so let's get into the readings. And as I said, I hope you're going to enjoy them. I'm excited to see what actually comes through, because I have no ideas. So are you butterfly, are you unicorn, or are you the puppy dog? We're going to start with butterfly as the first reading. We're going to do the unicorn second, and we're going to do the puppy dog third. And there are timestamps here, so if you click open the time bar or the time bar here, you will see it'll have the chapters available to you, so you can jump straight to your relevant chapter. So let's get straight into it, friends. I'll see you there. Welcome to those of you who chose the butterfly as the symbol that has the message, the reading, and the guidance that you need right now. Welcome. So I am going to place our butterfly. Actually, I think I'm going to place butterfly over there so we can still see it and we can still know that which one you chose. So we'll leave the butterfly there. I'm going to try not move these while I'm scattering them, but I might bump the camera, so let's just see how it goes. So friends, I'm going to start off with the tarot tiles. I'm just going to sort of put my hand in, move it around a little bit. I hope I'm not going to make you too seasick bumping the camera. I'm going to drop the tarot tiles, and then I'm going to do the charms, drop the charms, and once I've got the two dropped, then I'm going to start with the interpretation. So let's get into it and let's see what message Spirit have for you right now. It may get a bit noisy while I'm shuffling. If it does, if you are sensitive, please just do mute the audio, and then once I have finished dropping the stuff you can switch the volume on again. All right, so let's get into it. Let's have a look and see. Okay, we got 4 there. Right, so let's have a look and see what we've got. Okay, so I know we have a bit of a glare onto the tarot tile, so just I do apologize for that. And the rest of the tile, I think we can see the charms quite nicely. What I am going to do with the tarot tiles, because 3 of your 4 have landed face down, so I am going to turn them over just so that we can see what they are, but I don't want to disturb the charms around them. Oh, look at that. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And hopefully I have kept them in the same positions. Is there any that landed off the board? We've got one just over here. I want to show you she landed off the board, and she is the little gosh, what is she called? A ballet dancer. And she was just off the board, so she doesn't count, but she is bringing us a little bit of poise. She is bringing us a little bit of perfection and a little bit of standing shoulders back, chin up, chest out, and being proud and confident. So I am going to keep her there. Now let's get into it. So the heart of the matter, what is in the center here, is a tarot tile, and if I can pick it up, it is the tarot tile, which is the 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles is about being patient. It's about working hard. It's about being patient, but it's also about recognizing that you reap what you sow. What you put into something is what you get out of it. And that seems to be the heart of the matter. So you're obviously working towards something at the moment, whether it's an idea, whether it's an actual thing, whether it's just a concept at this stage, but there is something that you're working towards at the moment, and you're finding it a bit difficult, finding it a bit challenging. The reason why I say you're finding it a bit difficult and challenging is because directly below this, here where it says stay on this path, we have got a parrot. And a little parrot, and you know what parrots do? They repeat everything. They repeat everything constantly. So they come up with a couple of key phrases, and they repeat it over and over and over again. And in the block of stay on this path, this is saying to you that you need to stay on the path of whatever it is, this idea that you have, this concept that you have, this whatever it is that you're working on at the moment. You need to stay on that path. You need to not deviate from it. Keep doing whatever it is you're doing, but be patient with yourself and recognize that it is just a time journey. Okay, it is just a time journey. Now, interesting what's come through there. Oh, I skipped one, but I'm going to come back to that one, because interesting what I'm seeing here next to the body and the don't dwell, we have got my symbol for a lady, for the feminine side. So I think this is Spirit saying to you that you need to take care of your feminine side. You need to recognize and acknowledge your feminine side, but you also need to not dwell on it. So recognize it, acknowledge it, give it a bit of attention, and then move on from that. I am skipping this one. I'm going to come back to it, but I want to do this first circle, and then I'm going to come back to that one in a minute for whatever reason. I don't know, because I'm now being pulled over here. We've got receive and we've got change direction. We have got an owl charm, just to show you the owl charm. So the owl charm, and the owl charm is about, wisdom and understanding and all of those kind of things, but also about doing things in the nighttime, not in the daytime, because they are nocturnal. And it's about, in the daytime, everything's just a little bit too bright and everything's just a little bit too much. Whereas in the nighttime, we feel calmer, we feel more peaceful, we feel like we're able to do. And the tarot card associated with that is the horrible. And I call it the horrible one because the Three of Swords is the card of heartbreak. It's the card of pain, of heartbreak, of disappointment, of tragedy. And I think what this is saying to us is that, whatever it is that you're going through in your life at the moment, you're working so hard. You're trying so hard. You're being quite pedantic about putting the effort in and thinking about it and strategizing about it. But it's all here in the mind, and we're not actually doing anything in the physical, because here we've got that physical, and here we've got this parrot, and here we've got the patience and the hard work and reap what you sow. So when I look at this, it's like you're too afraid to receive help. You're too afraid to move forward in that whatever this opportunity is for you, because you are afraid of failing. You're afraid of disappointment. You're afraid that things are not going to work out the way that they should, the way that they want to. I'm coming back down now to this charm over here. And this particular charm is my charm for doing inner child work, okay? This is my charm, or that symbolizes the child within each one of us. And it's saying don't limit yourself. So it's about not limiting your fun, not limiting how much fun you have, and the opportunities that you give yourself to express, to experience, and to feel. Because I do think this is saying that you're being very hard on yourself, especially when I look at all the charms that we have here so far. You're expecting the worst. And when you go through life expecting the worst, the universe responds and says, hey, you're expecting the worst. Here, have the worst. So we've got to learn to be gentler with ourselves. We've got to learn to be kinder to ourselves. We've got to learn to be patient with ourselves, but to stay on the path and keep. So I'm going to say with the parrot and the stay on this path, maybe it's positive affirmations. Maybe you should be focusing on expressing, saying positive affirmations all the time. And if you can do that, and if you can focus on those positive affirmations, it may help you to work on your emotions, to work on your feminine self, to be patient with yourself, and to not be so worried about things going wrong. Now, I just want to move these ever so slightly, something to take caution of. And what we have, and this is actually so interesting, the High Priestess. Now, under the block of take caution, the High Priestess is about believing in yourself. It's about knowing that you have all the knowledge and all the information that you need right now, but it's telling you to take caution. And I think that's because it's also connected to spirit. By the way, I see she was lying in both those places. So the High Priestess in that location is basically saying to you, you've got to learn to trust yourself. But you must trust the negative self-speak, okay? You've got to trust the positive self-speak and not the negative self-speak, because spirit are pushing you, spirit are guiding you, spirit are saying, whatever this is that you're working on at the moment, you need to be working on this. You need to be doing this. You need to be following through with all this action. But you need to stop the self-talk, the negative self-talk. Sorry, let me start that again. You need to stop the negative self-talk. Now, the two charms that we have then, I'm going to pick them up and show them to you here. If the camera, there we go. So we've got this little mermaid, gosh, I nearly forgot what she's called, and we've got the charm here that represents the garden. So both of these are outdoors. She's obviously connected to water, and the garden is obviously connected to earth. Now, both of them are a little bit of fantasy. They're a little bit of fun. They're a little bit of where's the child charm, okay? A little bit of taking care of ourselves. And these two are in spirituality, connecting spirituality, spirit, family, and the garden. It's saying to you, whatever this idea is, whatever this situation is that you're dealing with at the moment, you need to take it outside. You need to get out of your office. You need to get out of your house. You need to venture beyond. You need to go out of your comfort zone, out of your little safety net. You need to venture beyond in order to have the happiness and the success, to see things differently, to perceive things differently, and to experience things differently. What you need to focus on over here, we've got a cowboy hat, okay? And again, that's about protection from the sun, but it is also, you're not going to wear a cowboy hat indoors. You're only going to wear your cowboy hat outside, Okay, so this is again confirmation that you need to go outdoors. And connected to the cowboy hat, we have a paw print. Again, paw prints are about fun with the dogs outside, animals back to nature, going outdoors and experiencing what is out there. And connected to the focusing on as well, we have the crown. So it's about recognizing that your true, how can I say, your true possessions, your true wealth, your true experiences are outdoors or outside. And I know for us here in the Southern Hemisphere, we're venturing into winter, but the message that's coming through so strongly here, this opportunity for you is waiting for you outside. It's waiting for you out there. So go outside. Go explore, go and see, go look under every rock, go do whatever it is that you need to do. But the opportunity, there is something waiting for you beyond, outside of your comfort zone, outside of your safety net. Now, this last tarot card, which is connecting the focus on the mind and the release. It's a little bit on the no, but I'm ignoring the no. But it's focusing on these three here, what to focus on, what to release, and mind. And the card that we have here is the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is telling you movement and change. Simple as that. It's about movement and change. And the Eight of Wands is telling you that the change is happening. It's already started. It's already initiated. It's already on its pathway. It's already moving. And all you have to do is wait for it to land, wait for it to arrive wherever it needs to be. Now, we have a block here for emotions. We've got the animal paw print that's come through in the emotions block as well, which is saying to you that if you are finding yourself feeling emotional, if you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, let the unconditional love of the animals help and guide you through that. We also have the charm here, which is of a house, and we have a charm here, which is of a Bible. So it's telling you that where you're feeling overly emotional, let's go back to basics. Let's go back to our religion, our faith, and our belief in whatever it is that you believe in. Let's go back there, because if you can remain humble, if you can have your good morals, and if you can have good integrity, you can overcome and accomplish anything. So if you're finding yourself emotionally battling, struggling with anything, especially climbing out of your comfort zone and moving towards something new, moving towards a new experience, go back to basics, okay? Go back to the place where you feel safe, where you feel secure, where you feel protected, understood, because that's where you're going to find the answers that you're looking for. Now, I'm going to bring us all the way back here, because there were no charms anywhere else, but we've got two landing in the cultural block. Okay, and we've got the scales of balance, which is telling you we don't want to be too much, okay, back in our faith, back in our religion, back in our understanding. We don't want to put all of our efforts there, all of our attention there, because if we do that, we're immediately going to be unbalanced. This whole thing here, this whole reading that's coming through so far, is almost like spirit pushing you out of your comfort zone, pushing you towards something that you've been longing for and wanting for the longest time, but you've been too afraid. This is spirit saying that you need to start trusting yourself a little bit more, not the fears, not the stress, and not the anxiety, but trusting the excitement and the enthusiasm and the passion. You know, think about the words that you're saying over and over and over again, because if you keep saying, oh gosh, you know, I wish I could work for myself. If that is something that you're repeating over and over and over again, we need to stay on that path and we need to work towards it. But we need to recognize that we reap what we sow, and whatever we're thinking about, whatever we're focusing and obsessing on is what we're attracting into our lives. We need to have a little bit more fun with our physical body. We need to get outdoors more, and we need to not pay attention to the negative talk, but to the positive talk. We need to venture outdoors more than anything. And the snake, so to me, and the snake is upside down, by the way, it's landed on its back and not on its belly, but under cultural here. Now, I love that we've got the theatre mask, okay? And it's the mask of happiness and the mask of sadness, because everything in life is either one or the other. There is no middle ground. We either are happy or we're sad. It's either a drama or a comedy, okay? And you get to choose what it is. The fact that our snake is upside down, now to me, the snake is about transformation and change, because the snakes have to shed their skin in order to grow and to evolve and to adapt. But they also do everything really quickly. They also react very quickly, respond very quickly. Even their venom works very quickly. So I do think the message of the snake is that change is coming. You have to choose happiness or sadness. success or failure. You get to make that decision. Nobody else gets to do that for you. You get to make that decision. But you also are on borrowed time, I'm going to call it, limited time. You don't have the luxury of time. It's like, let's do it now. Let's make our decisions. Let's act. Let's move. Let's go now, because we're running out of time. Things are progressing, happening quickly around you, but you need to bring that element of fun, that element of happiness, that element of joy into your life. And I think it's time that we make the changes quite quickly to bring the balance into our life that we need. Now, our little charm that landed at the top of the board over there, now she is gosh, can I again forget her name? Ballerina. So look at her. She is so perfectly poised, so perfectly, the way that she's standing on her absolute tippy toes. She's got perfect form, perfect shape, perfect performance. And the fact that she was off the board there is saying we need to get her on the board. We need to have this perfect life. And the fact that the tarot card in the center here is the tarot card of patience, of the effort you put in is what you will reap, that you reap what you sow. But it's also about not allowing yourself to be disappointed if you don't get things right the first time. And that's a message of the ballerina too, isn't it? You know, she's telling you practice makes perfect, and that you have to do things over and over and over again in order to enjoy and in order to have the success and the happiness that you're looking for. You know, that's the parrot's message. He's repetitive, he's continuous, he's ongoing. So friends, for those of you who chose the butterfly, by the way, the butterfly is about change and transformation. And everything that we've got going here is about change and transformation. So clearly there's an idea. Clearly there's something happening in your heart and in your head that you've been ignoring for too long now. And this spirit's saying, it's time. It's time. It's time for you to embrace. It's time for you to take it on. It's time for you to adapt and adopt and to move and to have everything that you need, everything. And no one's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to bring it to you on a silver platter. You have to do the initiation. You have to start it. But don't focus on what could go wrong. Because when you focus on all the things that could go wrong, the universe is responding and giving you that. You need to focus on all the positives that we have. But you need to go out and do it. Don't try and do it from home. It's like I need to push you out there. Go outside. Go out there. I'm pointing it to my window. Can you see? I'm pointing to my window. Go to the outside, okay? And experience all that there is. Don't wait until you've got everything figured out at home. Go out there and start living the life that you want for yourself, the life that you deserve for yourself, because it's time. And I honestly think you've already started this. And I'm loving this crown, by the way. Because who wears the crown but the king? Okay, the king wears the crown. The king has the crown because he's the smart one. He's the intelligent one. He's the rich one. He's got everything. He owns the kingdom. You know, he rules the kingdom. He's got everything going for him and so much more. And this is where you deserve. And that's why it's in the block of focus on. But put your hat on when you go outside. Make sure that you are protected. Make sure that you are safe. And make sure that you are connecting with the things that truly matter. And that you're ignoring fear. You're ignoring panic. And you're ignoring your anxiety. We are going to bring balance in our lives in the way that we need it. And you know what you need to do. So go out there and do it. All right. So friends, I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope it's answered your questions, and I hope it's given you the nudge that you need. With love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. And you're welcome to those of you who have chosen our very cute Nunu little unicorn as the charm that has the reading, the message, the guidance that you need right now. I'm going to place our little unicorn oopsie over there so that we can see it, and that it's still on the table so that you know which reading you're looking at. Our board is empty. I have got the tarot over there. I've got the charms over there. I'm not going to move these. I'm going to leave them right there, and I'm just going to grab and drop onto the board, and I'm going to drop from the tarot first, and then I'm going to drop from the charms. And once we've got them all on the board, then I will start with the interpretation. While I'm shuffling these, it can be a bit noisy, so if you are sensitive, or if you're listening with earpods or earphones or whatever those things are called, do mute the sound until you see that I have dropped everything, and then you can bring the sound back. But let's get straight into it. Let's have a look and see what's in store for you and what it is that Spirit needs you to know. All of you who chose the magical little unicorn. So I'm going to start with the tarot, and then we're going to drop the charms, and let's have a look and see. Okay. Right. So, oh, it's interesting. So there's one that's fallen off the board, but otherwise they all look like they're on the board. Okay. We have got quite a lot happening here. We've got a few there. We've got a hairdryer. We've got a little telephone. Okay. All right. And we've got these two. They're actually attached. Let me see if I can separate them. There we go. They're actually attached now. They're not attached anymore. The charm that's fallen off the board, let's see if I can get it to focus. Can you see it says self-control? And the fact that self-control is off the board is saying to us it's something to bear in mind. It's something that we need to be thinking about, but it's also not something that's mission critical to be on the board right now. And I think everything else is visible on camera. I'm just trying to make sure that we're not missing anything. Okay, so I am going to start over here. I don't know why, I just am. Okay. I'm going with what I'm guided. I'm going with what I'm feeling like. I'm going to start there, and I'm going to move us around to this, because this seems to be where the bulk of the charms and the tarot have dropped. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to move us around into that grouping. Okay, so the tarot that's landed across the top, and just to show you, it's in the quality of life. And what we have, I mean, this is just so amazing. We have got the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is the card of abundance. It's the card of opulence. It's the card that says that we have everything a heart desires and so much more. So in the area of quality of life, I think this is Spirit saying to you, you know what, even if you don't have all the riches in the world, even if you don't have everything your heart desires, you're actually living a pretty okay life. I also have to bring in the fact that you chose the unicorn. It's that you believe in magic, that you believe in the unusual, the strange, the fantasy, and that you're allowing yourself to live a little bit in that space. So the fact that we have that Nine of Pentacles there in that quality of life block is Spirit saying that even if you don't have all the money in the world, even if money is a little bit tight or a little bit difficult, you're actually living a pretty okay life. You're able to splurge a little bit. You're able to buy nice, pretty things, and you're able to enjoy the balance of life. Now, the interesting little charm that dropped there is the tarot charm. Normally when the tarot charm comes out in the charm reading, it's telling me to choose tarot, but we've already chosen tarot. And again, that's come through in the quality of life. So what I am going to do, because of that tarot tile, I haven't even looked at anything else, but I am going to draw an extra one to add to the quality of life. So we've got that Nine of Pentacles, which is the card of abundance and the card of extra. So clearly we have to take extra. So I'm going to grab just one, okay? And I'm going to try not to look. And I'm just going to grab a single one. Oh, look at that. So the single one that I've drawn is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, you can see that the horse is standing still. The horse isn't moving. And what he's doing is he's surveying the land. He's looking. He's arrived at a point in his journey, and he's now saying, okay, let me just, before we carry on, before we move, let me just look around us. Let's just see, where are we? What is around us? What is available to me? Is there a place to drink water? Is there a place to rest for the night? What is around me? So he is surveying the land before he decides on his next journey. So I'm going to replace, well, not replace, I'll put it next to the tarot tile, or sorry, the tarot charm. I'm going to get the words right, because that's obviously the message that needed to come through. There is abundance available to you. There is opulence and abundance available to you, but it's like you need to stop what you're doing, stop what's going on around you, and just look, just observe. So maybe it's telling you to stop and count your blessings. Okay, because that's about the quality of life. So even if you don't have a fat bank account, even if finances are a bit tight and a bit difficult, I think this is Spirit saying, stop and count your blessings, because you have many blessings around you. There are so many things happening in your life that are actually truly wonderful, but you need to stop and count your blessings. I actually think that's the perfect message. So here, I'm going to move him down a little bit. In the block of recreation, we have a tarot block or a tarot tile that has landed upside down. So let's turn it over and see for your recreation. And I've got it upside down. Oh, look at that, King of Pentacles. So King of Pentacles, he's the king of money. He has an abundance of money. He's in control of the kingdom. He's in control of the kingdom. He's in control of the money. He knows that he has access to anything that he needs and anything that he wants. You know, if he wants something, he literally just clicks his finger and it comes to him. So that's the King of Pentacles. You know, he is, sorry, the camera doesn't want to focus because these are so tiny. There we go. So the King of Pentacles has abundance and has opulence and has everything that his heart desires. And he knows that anything he wants, he just says, I want this, and somebody will bring it to him. Now, that doesn't mean that you can do that. It doesn't mean that you can just say, hey, I want a holiday, and a holiday comes, or I want a new lounge suite, and a lounge suite comes, or I want a new whatever it is, and it arrives. But I think with us paying attention to counting our blessings and to looking at what we have, I do think that this is Spirit saying, let's put more focus, let's put more attention on our recreation, on our social, on our holidays, on our planning our downtime. Let's not be so focused on work the whole time. Let's actually bring a little bit of balance, and let's actually focus on having a little bit of holiday, a little bit of happiness, a little bit of time to enjoy the life that we have around us. Okay. In the cultural block, now it is a little bit in the recreation block, but it is mostly in the cultural block. We have got the Page of Swords. Whenever the Page of Swords comes up for me, I see it as learning. I see it as actual processing, learning, gaining information, gaining knowledge and understanding. And I think what Spirit is saying is that there's so much change going on in your life at the moment. We need to be counting our blessings. So it's almost like let's work with the law of attraction, because we've got the King of Money. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, which is in the same suit. We have got the Nine of Pentacles in the same suit. And then we've got the card of learning and gaining information and knowledge around our cultural. So again, it's about finding that balance, isn't it? But finding that balance between spending money on yourself, living a good life, and as well being a good person. Because sometimes we feel guilty if we're splurging on ourselves. Sometimes we feel guilty if we buy ourselves unnecessary things. We feel like, you know, we shouldn't be enjoying all of this when there are other people suffering in the world. So it's about finding that balance. And just because you're enjoying your hard-earned efforts and your hard-earned money and all the things that you have, it doesn't mean that you are neglecting anybody else. But it's about learning to enjoy your own money, to enjoy your own success, to enjoy your own wealth. But I also think it's learning to work with the law of attraction. Okay, the law of attraction is very important that we all work with that, because whatever you're thinking, whatever's happening in your head and your heart is what you're manifesting and what you're attracting to yourself. So if you're constantly having what I call poverty mindset is when, like, oh, I can't afford that. Oh, I can't afford that. Oh, I'd love to have that, but I can't afford it. When you find yourself saying those kind of things over and over, you will never be able to afford the good stuff because you don't allow yourself. And when I look at this particular situation, I haven't focused on our hairdryer just yet, but I'll get to the hairdryer just now. But when I look at these other ones, it's Spirit saying that you have worked hard. That what you do have, you're allowed to enjoy, you're allowed to appreciate, and don't feel guilty about it. But you've got to learn how to find that balance within yourself around appreciating and enjoying what you have and manifesting and gaining some more of it. Okay. I'm into this block down here now, and I know you can't really see the word, and I'm going to push it up ever so slightly if I can. There we go. Social. And what we have in the social is a telephone, but one of these old-fashioned telephones. Okay, a lot of the younger people watching right now are like, what is that? Old-fashioned telephone coming into the block of social. And again, this is Spirit saying to you, you need to stop making those calls. You need to start reaching out to your friends, reaching out to people you haven't spoken to in the longest time. Reach out to them and say, hey, how you doing? You know, just make that phone call, send that message, reach out and connect to the people you haven't spoken to. And generally the telephone is people who are far away. Okay, it's not people who are your neighbors or down the road from you or in the same town. It's people who are far away. So I do think this telephone is saying reach out and connect to those who are far away, who you haven't spoken to in a long time. Do it because it's important. Okay, just going to bring that board down again just to keep it even. In the work area, and it's in the work and the intellectual, and we have here the charm of masculine. Okay, this is my masculine charm, and I think this is Spirit saying that it's about recognizing and understanding that we have to do what we have to do. Okay, as much as we need to enjoy our abundance and spend a bit of money and have a little bit of fun, plan these holidays, we also and connect with the people far away, but we also need to be logical about our approach to everything. We can't have a perfect life and not work. It doesn't work like that. So we need to take a logical approach to our work, to our what we do, how we do, when we do it, etc. Just a simple, logical approach to everything. Under the physical block over here, we have got my little charm for a crow. If I can get the camera to focus on it, there you can see the little crow. And the crow coming through in the physical is basically, again, getting you outside, getting you to explore the fresh air, to fly free, to experience, to go, to feel, to be, to do. What I love about the crows is they take opportunities as opportunity strikes. They don't spend much time planning and strategizing. It's like, we need to do this, let's do it now, and let's do it. And I think from a physical point of view, this is Spirit saying, if there's something that you want to do on a physical level, whether it be fun, whether it be exercise, whether it be whatever it is, just when the opportunity strikes, take it and go with it, because that's what the crow's message is. Don't overthink it, don't over strategize, don't over plan. Just like, if the opportunity is there and you're in the mood, go for it and physically do the things that you've been putting off for the longest time, because you can. And to just remind you, the little charm that was next to it, self-control. Okay, little charm that fell off the board, self-control, is saying to you that when it comes to your physical and grabbing opportunities, you need to practice some self-control in allowing yourself to take advantage of the situations. And that comes into it here as well. All right, I'm now coming back to our hairdryer. And the hairdryer is in the block of don't dwell. So you know what do we use the hairdryer for? We use the hairdryer to dry our hair, to make us look good, to make us feel good, to make us look fabulous. It's about self-care, isn't it? Now there's the self-control, and here in the don't dwell, we have got the hairdryer. And I think it's telling you to not dwell on your physical appearance. It doesn't matter if you don't look perfect. It doesn't matter if you've got a hair out of place. It's okay. Don't dwell on the unnecessary. The necessary is about appreciating that which you have in life, counting your blessings, and learning how to find balance in our work, reaching out to people you haven't spoken to in a long time. And I can assure you that these people that you reach out to, they don't care what you look like. They don't care, if your hair is good or bad or whatever it is. They just would be so happy and grateful to hear from you, regardless of what you look like. So don't always think, well, I can't go and be physical, I can't go and exercise because I don't have the right shoes or whatever it is. Let's not focus on those things, okay? Let's focus on the things that truly are important. Okay. In this block here of the mind, we have got a little Cupid doll. So Cupid shooting his bow and arrow of love, and that's come through in the mind. And I think the message coming through for you there is, when we fall in love with something, we need to fall in love with it here first. We need to, as much as we want to fall in love in the heart space, we need to fall in love with the logical understanding or thought of thing before we can fall in love on a physical. So even bringing it back into this physical block here, you need to fall in love with the idea of exercise and the idea of outdoors and the idea of taking care of yourself, the idea of living a lavish life, the idea of learning more about yourself and other people, and the law of attraction. You need to fall in love with that concept first before it's going to happen on a physical level. Okay, so now I'm going to get into this big block that we've got going here. I'm going to talk about this little one first because it's crossing those two blocks. I can't see, that's the block of no, and this is the block of heart. The charm that we have here, this is my charm for inner child work, okay? This is my charm for the inner child because he's got the little heart over there. And basically what that's saying to you is you need to learn to let go and to have some fun. Don't be so rigid. Don't be so fixed. The fact that you chose the unicorn tells you that you want to have a little bit of fun. You want to be a little bit free, a little bit carefree, and a little bit spontaneous. But actually, we're too stuck in our minds, and we haven't actually given ourselves permission. We don't actually know how to be carefree. So the heart is basically telling you to let your inner child out. Let your inner child out. Let your inner child be spontaneous and to be carefree and eat ice cream, even if it's cold outside. Do it because you feel like it, because you want to, and not because it's the right thing to do. Sometimes we have to deviate from that. Something to focus on here. And it's interesting, sorry, that in the mind we had the Cupid, and what to focus on here, we have got a lock and key, because and notice that the lock and the heart and the key, the lock and the key are connected, which means that you have the key to unlock the heart. But we haven't learned, fallen in love in the head first. We haven't figured it out here first. So we're not allowing ourselves to do it in an emotional heart space area. And we need to be a little bit more carefree with our heart. We need to be more free giving with our heart. And if we could focus on that, we're going to see that we have the key to our own happiness. And once we recognize that we have the key to our happiness, we can achieve so much, so much. Now, I want to look at these two tarot cards that are lying here. They're lying in caution, focus, and in the no block. And this is basically saying to you that you realize everything, that you overthink everything, and you need to stop doing it. This tarot card over here, the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is what we call the nightmare card, and it's the card of stress and anxiety and fear and panic. And this is Spirit saying, stop that. Stop worrying about things that you don't need to be worrying about. Worry about the things that you can change. Worry about the things that you do have control over. Let everything else go. Don't worry about things that absolutely don't directly impact on your life right now. If you can do something about it now, worry about it and do something about it. But if you can't, just let it go. And this tarot card over here, the Queen of Pentacles, she's telling you to nurture that which you have, focus on that which you have, and let everything else go. So it's very interesting that those two have come through. I'm going to pick up that charm because I want them to stay like that. The charm in their space is a little a knight's helmet, okay? A little, helmet, I don't know what else to call it, okay? And that is something that we wear for protection. It's something that we wear when we're about to go into battle, when we're about to go out and do something. We need to make sure that we've got a helmet on so that we are protected and that we are safe. But I think we're being too cautious. That's the message that's coming through there, is we're so busy putting on our armor, we're so busy protecting ourselves, we've actually forgotten how to have fun. We've actually forgotten how to live life. We're so focused on doing the right things at the right time, and that we're not just to remind you, self-control. We're so busy focusing on doing the right things at the right time all the time that we've actually forgotten how to appreciate that which we do have and how to have fun. Now look in the spirit block. Can you see this little charm over here in the spirit block? It was hiding underneath the tarot cards just now. And it's the sun. So the sun is about happiness and joy and success and abundance and, all those kind of good things, shedding light on situations. So we need to, and then also I'm noticing around the spirit here, we've got those lights coming off, okay? Let's have a look and see what we've got here. There's 3 charms. I'm going to pick them all up and show you. So the first one I picked up was the palm tree, which is about going on holiday and exploring and, taking a bit of time out. We have got the lady sitting in a meditation pose. Let me turn her around so she's facing the right way. So she's self-care. She's meditating. She's looking after herself. And we've also got the angel of healing. So we need to focus on our physical being because that's what's coming through. This is in the take caution and in the spirit. And also you can say connected to the what to focus on. We need to recognize that we need to have more fun. It's as simple as that. You know what? If I have to take this whole reading and I had to just simplify it into a single sentence, telling you that you're working too hard, you're focusing on unrealistic goals. I don't know if unrealistic is the right word, but you're focusing on the things that aren't truly important and you're missing what is. And what's important is that you have fun. What's important is that you let your inner child out and that you start having some fun. Fall in love with the idea of fun. Fall in love with the idea of life. Play with the law of attraction. Don't be so focused on being so perfect all the time. Let's connect with people we haven't connected to in such a long time. And let's just get ourselves out there and have fun. Let's not let stress and worry and anxiety get the better of us. Let's be more relaxed. Let's grab opportunities when they present themselves, and let's just go for it. Let's not be that kind of person that has to be so rigid in what you do, when you do, how you do it, and who you do it with. Because everything here is basically saying to you, let your hair down, let loose, and have some fun. If you can learn to have fun with life, if you can learn to have fun with yourself, it's amazing how easy and how simple and how quickly you will achieve your goals and your dreams and your ambitions. But if you're so focused on having everything so perfect, if you're so focused on everything being perfect exactly when, who, and how, you're gonna miss the point. And the point is that you've got so much to celebrate, that you've got so much going on in your life at the moment that you need to celebrate, that you can acknowledge, and that you can enjoy. But you've got to stop. You've got to stop for a minute and actually give yourself permission to have some fun. Give yourself permission to see what is right here around you and take advantage of what is right here around you and enjoy what is right here around you, because you do have an abundance in your life. You do have an abundance. Recreational. We have got the King of Pentacles. So it's time to splurge. It's time to have some fun. And it's time to climb out of your comfort zones. And it's time to learn the difference between what you have to do and what you want to do. And hopefully tilt the scales into more of what you want to do and not necessarily what you have to do. So, gosh, that was an interesting reading indeed, and I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope this has given you the nudge that you need to make the changes that you need. And you know what? It's not about making changes. It's just about taking time for self, taking time to do things that bring you a sense of joy, bring you a sense of peace, healing, and happiness, because you're missing that in your life at the moment. Your life is far too focused on what you need to do, getting it right, achieving goals, achieving dreams and ambitions, instead of actually just being in the now and having a bit of fun. So take care of yourself, look after yourself, and have a little bit of fun. With love and blessings, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. And right, welcome to all our dog lovers out there, because I'm sure most of you, if you've chosen this cute little puppy dog, you must be a dog lover. And of course, but aren't we all dog lovers? We all love our puppy dogs. Isn't it the cutest? I mean, he's got those big sad eyes. Just love the puppy dog, right? So we're going to do your reading. I'm going to leave our puppy over there. He can peek at us through that spot as we get on to doing the reading. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shuffle from the tarot tiles and I'm going to drop them on the board. I'm then going to shuffle the charms and I'm going to drop them on the board as well. While I'm shuffling and dropping, it can be a bit noisy, especially if you've got earpods or earphones or something like that in. So if you are sensitive to that sound, please do mute the audio until I have dropped all the stuff, and then you may come back to the sound. But I'm going to shuffle and I'm going to draw some tarot, and then I'm going to shuffle and draw some charms onto the board. And once we've dropped them, we'll start with the interpretation. So let's get into it and let's have a look and see what does Spirit need you to know right here and right now, for all of you who chose the very cute puppy dog. Okay, we've got the tarot down. Right, we have got a lot of stuff that has landed on the table. I wanted to see if there's anything that has fallen off the table. I think no, everything looks like it's on the board. We've got one hiding there, but we can see it. I've got one hiding there, but we can see it. So everything looks okay. So quite a lot has happened, and it seems like it's all in this section over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in family and I'm going to work my way around into the center. Actually, I'm going to start here with our emotions, okay? I'm going to start here and I'm going to work around and I'm going to work in a spiral towards the center. So let's have a look and see here on our emotional block. The charm that we have there, excuse me, is the charm that I have. It's my charm for our inner child. It's our charm for being silly, for having a little bit of fun, for not being so adult and so grown up and so focused all the time. It's the card It's the charm that says to us, it's time for us to have a little bit of fun and to let our head down and to not worry about consequences, to not worry about responsibilities. But the fact that this is coming through in your emotional, it may be saying to you that maybe you're feeling overly emotional about the little things, okay? You may be feeling emotional about the small stuff. And this is Spirit saying, you know what, sometimes we need to recognize that we are just needing someone to put their arms around us and to tell us that everything's going to be okay. So nurture your inner child. Take care of your inner child. Look after your inner child. Do something to nurture your inner child so that it can help you on an emotional level. Now, in the family block over there, we have this little horseshoe, and we know that horseshoes are for luck. We know that horseshoes are for, happiness, success, and luck. And I think that's saying to you that if we can sort of overcome the little petty issues that are going on, whether it be on emotional, physical, mental level, you'll be amazed at the kind of success and luck that's coming through the family. So there's definitely something positive to look forward to within the family dynamic. And in the block of spirituality, we have got a tarot card. Just to show you the teeny tiny tarot card, it is the Ace of Pentacles. You can see this hand is offering this money. There's this huge big disc of money that's being offered, but it's like you need to walk through the gate first. You need to walk through the path, and only once you've explored the path will you see the opportunity that has been offered to you. So from a spirituality point of view, that is Spirit saying, we've also got the teapot. How cute the teapot is, okay? How Nunu is that? So cute. So from a spirituality point of view, this is Spirit saying to you that there are many opportunities presenting themselves to you at the moment, but you're not going to see them unless you step through the door and unless you actually take the time. Because for me, a cup of tea is about taking time. We don't drink tea in a hurry, but as we're rushing out the door. Tea is generally something that we drink, however you drink your tea, whatever kind of tea you drink. But it's something we drink to nourish. Now we've got the nourishing here. We've got success and happiness and good luck with the family. But on a spiritual point of view, Spirit is saying that there's something progressing. There is an opportunity coming forward for you. But in order for you to take the opportunity, to enjoy the opportunity and to run with it, you're going to have to stop and have a cup of tea. Okay? So take time to see it, to feel it, to think it, to know it, and then to act on it. Okay? This one, I am going to leave it there. I'm also going to leave that one there, but I do have a tarot tile that has landed on quality of life. So let's turn it over and see what its message is. Oh, it's upside down. We've got under quality of life, we've got the Page of Wands. Now the Page of Wands, I mean, he looks like he's quite confident. He looks like he's quite proud of himself. He's sort of saying, look at me, look at how fabulous I am, look at all that I've achieved. But the truth of the matter is, our Page of Wands, he's got textbook knowledge. He's very ambitious and he's very curious and he's very brave, but he hasn't actually done stuff before. And you can see by the way that he's dressed, I mean, he doesn't want to get his clothes dirty. He wants to achieve and he wants to feel and he wants to have all these things, but he's not quite ready to get his clothes dirty, okay? So the Page of Wands, he's the kind of person that I want to go and ruffle up their hair, and I want to say to him, you know what, just get your hands dirty, just get stuck in, just do something. So he's very curious and he's very ambitious, but he's very, almost a little bit standoffish, if I can put it that way, okay? So from a quality of life, it's like you know what you want to do, you know what you want to experience, you know what's fun, you know what's happiness, you know all of those things, but you're not really participating. You're there, but you're not actually there. So I hope that makes sense to you, because this is Spirit saying to you from a quality of life point of view, get in there, get your hands dirty. And I just had to laugh now because I've just noticed that our next charm is the cute little toothbrush. Okay, and what do we use a toothbrush for? To clean our teeth, first of all. But have you ever wanted to scrub something and you've got a toothbrush to really get into the grooves? Now in the recreational block, is where the toothbrush was. And it's telling you to get into the detail, to get into the small stuff, okay? Just want to make sure that I can get it into focus. So under recreational, it's telling you that you really need to get into the nitty-gritty. You really need to get into the small details in order to see the beauty of what's available. So you are participating from a quality of life. You know, if you're invited to a party, you arrive, but you're probably the one that's standing in the back. You're probably standing in the background looking the part, but you're not really engaging. You're not really participating. And Spirit is saying it's time to clean up. It's time to clean up. So get your hands dirty, because you've got the toothbrush, you've got the tools to clean as you need to. But you've got to stop participating and engaging and getting more active in everything that we're talking about so far. Okay, now down the bottom here, I'm going to push the board up ever so slightly. I just wanted you to see the word down the bottom here. So here we have got Cupid. Cupid about to fire their arrow, shoot their arrow. So we've got Cupid over there, and Cupid is in the block of social. So what does that mean? You know, the social is about your social interaction. So maybe there's a potential, I don't want to say potential for love, but I'm going to say a potential for love. There is something that's going to bring happiness, that's going to bring joy, that's going to bring happiness to your life in the social world, in your social environment. So I go back to quality of life and recreation. So you're arriving, you're showing up, you're there, but you're not engaging and not participating. You need to start engaging and participating in order for this to happen. So for those of you who are looking for love, for those of you who are single and unattached, this is Spirit saying to you that it's time for you. It's time for you to participate. It's time for you to engage. It's time for you to just be a part of, because there is potential. And for those of you who are in a relationship, Cupid is saying maybe we're in a social setting. You will be Cupid. You will be the one firing arrows and connecting people and helping people find each other, helping people find love. So on a social level, you're either going to be the one shooting the arrow, or you're going to be the one being shot. But either way, it's going to be amazing. But you need to rock up. You need to participate. You need to be part of these social engagements in order for this to happen. Right. Moving now over here. So I know that they're touching on release a little bit, but these two tarot cards, I am going to read them around the physical. Okay, so around taking care of our physical beings, what do we have? And the two tarot cards that we have is the Nine of Swords, and we have the Ten of Cups. So the Nine of Swords, if we look at this one on its own first, is the card of what we call our nightmares. It's the stress and the anxiety and the panic and the fear and all of those kind of things. And then the Ten of Cups is the card of happy family, perfect life, idyllic perfect life. So we've got a bit of a conflict here, and they were both sitting in the block. Camera doesn't want to focus. They were both sitting in the block of the physical. So I think this is telling you that you're very unhappy with yourself. You're not happy with your physical being, that maybe you're not putting the effort in that you should be, or that you need to. You want to have this idyllic perfect life. You want everything to work out as it needs to, but you're not putting the effort in. So you're beating yourself up about it, but then you're pretending that everything's fabulous. So this is an inner conflict within yourself around your physical behavior, your physical exercise, and the physical, just whatever's going on with your physical being. So you're unhappy with who and what you are, but you're pretending that it's fine. Like, I'm not dealing with it now, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. When actually you're quite unhappy about it. So the message that comes through there for you is that you need to pull yourself towards yourself. You need to do the work that's needed. You need to rock up, pitch up, and change so that you're not dealing with the stress. Let's eliminate the stress by focusing on the physical stuff, and let's just get it done so that we can be happy, so that our family can be happy, so that we can live a long, happy life for our family. All right. We've done the emotional one. I am now going to come into this in a circle here. Now I'm going to start over here. We've got focus on. The first thing I notice with focus on is the snowflake. Okay, and I know here in South Africa, we don't really get a lot of snow. We are moving into the winter period, but we don't really get a lot of snow here. So we're not really familiar with snow as such. But you all know that each snowdrop or snowflake is completely unique and completely different. No two snowflakes are ever the same. So whenever I see the snowflake, it reminds me of uniqueness. Okay, so this was in the block of focusing on your uniqueness, focusing on those unique qualities that you possess that make you just so wonderfully wonderful. And also with focus on, we have got the scissors. And the scissors is what to cut out. You've got to cut out the rubbish, cut out the nonsense, cut out the drama, cut out the people who don't serve you, who don't bring you anything. And what it is to cut out actually your self-disbelief. So here we've got the High Priestess Tarot. And High Priestess, she is the card of intuition. She's the card of trust. She's the card of having that inner knowledge. You can see in her lap here, there's a scroll of knowledge that she carries, that she holds. So the High Priestess, her message for you is you've got to learn to trust yourself. You've got to learn to trust the good parts of yourself, the knowledge that you have about yourself, your uniqueness, but you've got to cut out the nonsense, because that scissors is telling you it's time to let the other stuff go. And that comes back here. Okay, and it's quite interesting the way that I've read it. We've started off here by saying, you know what, we're going to start participating, we're going to start engaging, we're going to sit and drink that cup of tea because we can, and we're going to see the opportunities that are going to come. We're going to let our inner child out a little bit more. We're going to let go of the stress and the anxiety. We're going to cut that nonsense out because we're going to recognize how unique we truly are, and we're going to start trusting and believing that we are in the right place, that we are living the life that we need to, living the life that we should be, and living the life that we want for ourselves. Now I'm coming across over here, and I know it's a bit difficult to see, but we have this tiny butterfly. Okay, and butterfly, we all know, is the symbol of change and transformation, because it started off as a yucky caterpillar and it emerges as a beautiful butterfly. And that one was exactly between change, direction, and spirit. So, and the fact that we've got the High Priestess by the take caution and the focus, so it's telling you to start focusing on different parts of yourself and allowing different parts of yourself to flourish and to grow and to just blossom. Okay, don't feel like you always have to focus on the parts that you think are right, that you think are appropriate, but actually let's allow that other part of you that's been dormant for so long. Let's let that free. Let's let that go. Let's let that shine and live the life that it wants and the life that it needs. Now, the tarot card that's across the receive and the change direction, let's have a look and see what we've got there. So receive and change direction, and it is the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands is about hardship. You know, he's carrying, let me get the right words, he's carrying these sticks, and it's a heavy burden. It's a heavy burden to carry, but he's doing it because he feels like he has to. He feels like he doesn't have a choice. There's so much more he'd want to do. Now, if you look very carefully down the bottom there, you can see is his home base. So he's nearly there. So if you're feeling like you're ready to give up, if you're feeling like you're ready to throw in the towel and say, I'm done, that is the card of telling you just keep going, just keep going. But the fact that it's touching this receive block and the change direction, I think the fact that we have this little butterfly here by spirit as well is telling you, ask for help. Don't feel like you have to do everything on your own. Don't feel like you have to be superhuman. Don't feel like you have to be the only one. It's okay to put your hand out and say, hey, can somebody help me, please? I am struggling to carry this burden on my own. I am struggling to do this all by myself. Can somebody come and assist me? Now, the interesting thing that I'm seeing here as well is the little Kenwood food processor. Plug for Kenwood. Okay, we have this food processor. What does the food processor do? It helps us process food. It helps us mix food. It helps us to knead the dough. It helps us to do, it's a tool that we use. And the fact that it's in the receive block is telling you, don't be ashamed or afraid to accept and to take help from any place, any source, or anything. Don't feel like you have to knead by hand for hours and hours on end when you've got a machine where you can shove your dough in, leave it on for 5 minutes, and you come back and it's perfectly kneaded. Accept the help that is available to you. Okay, this tarot, between receive and don't dwell, and what we have is the card of the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is about walking away. It's about realizing, recognizing and realizing when you can and when you can't. And when you get to that point where it's just, there's no point in carrying on anymore, it's about recognizing that and then giving yourself permission to walk away from that. And I do think that's what Spirit is saying. When you accept help, it frees you to see the situation for what it is. We're not going to dwell on it. We're not going to dwell on the negative. We're not going to dwell on the things that don't actually work for us. And we're actually just going to allow ourselves to walk away from things that don't serve us anymore. Okay. If it doesn't serve you, let's walk away. Let's leave it behind, because we're going to focus on different things. We're going to focus on things that bring us joy and happiness and success and abundance. And we are not going to be focusing on the rubbish anymore. Okay. We're not. Stay on this path. Stay on this path. And here we have this beautiful angel of healing. Okay, this is the angel of healing. So it's about taking care of yourself. It's about nurturing yourself. It's about looking after yourself. But it's about giving yourself permission to heal, to become better, to become happier, to become healthier. And that's the path that we need to stay on. So if anything makes you unhappy, if anything brings stress and worry and anxiety in your life, we're cutting it out. We're walking away from it, and we're leaving the stress behind because we just don't want it anymore. What do we need to release? There are two charms that have come through in what you need to release, and it is the palm trees and the little fishy. Okay, so immediately what I get from these is, like, the palm tree is this idyllic fantasy life, and the fish is about abundance. So we need to release our fixation on having this perfect life, because what is a perfect life? What does that actually mean? What does it actually mean? And I think, you know what, when we realize that this idyllic perfect life actually is just a fantasy and that it really doesn't exist, we can let it go. We can walk away from it, and we can put the burden down and allow people to actually help us in the way that we need to. But we have to recognize and we have to acknowledge it first. Okay. Coming into the next circle, we're getting closer and closer. There are two charms in the block of no, in the no block, if I can pick them up. The one is a four-leaf clover. Now, it's interesting that we had the horseshoe over there, which is about luck. Oh, sorry, tree, I didn't realize I put you upside down. And then you've got the four-leaf clover, which is luck. But these have come through in the block of no, thumbs down, no. So it's telling you that you can't rely on luck alone. And the tree is about longevity, okay? And it's telling you that you've been suffering for too long now. The pain, the suffering has been going on for too long now. It's time for that to end. Tree is also the symbol for healing, okay? But we can't rely on luck alone. That we have to initiate. We have to accept the help, walk away, and move on in whatever it is that we need to in order to explore all that life has to offer. Okay. There's a hand over there. I'm sure you can see the hand. It is between the spirit and the heart. So it's telling you to put your hand on your heart and to know that this is real. Know that you are real. Know that this life that you're living at the moment is real, is your reality, that this is your truth. And when you recognize your truth, it makes it easier to let go of the other things that don't serve you anymore. To let go of anything that doesn't serve you. Now, there's quite a lot happening in this yes block. So I want to unpack the yes block. First of all, we have is the Hamsa hand. Camera doesn't want to focus. I need to block the background. The Hamsa hand, which is the hand of protection, the hand of love, the hand over the heart, the hand of happiness. We also have a teeny tiny little octopus who has 8 hands, okay? So 8 hands on the heart. Octopus is also about camouflage and about change and about swift movement and about, I mean, if you've watched that movie about the octopus, oh, beautiful stuff. And we have, how beautiful is this? An apple. And an apple is the symbol of healing as well, because apple a day keeps the doctor away, that whole saying. It's about nourishing the soul. It's about taking care of yourself. And it's about recognizing all the hands that are available to help you, all the hands that are available there for you, that you don't have to do it alone, that you don't have to handle everything. So look at all the hands that are available. And all of these falling in the yes block. I want to pick up this tarot card, which is in the yes block, the heart block, and the body block. And it is the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is confirmation that you know exactly what I'm talking about, that you know exactly what it is you need to accept, the hands of help that you need to accept. You know, the King of Swords, he doesn't actually do anything. He's got his people. He's got his many hands to do the work for him. And he knows many hands make light work. He's the strategist. He's the one who comes up with the plan. He's the one who comes up with the strategy. And then he just issues it and other people implement and other people act it out and other people do it for him. And this is who you need to be. So heart, yes, and body. It's about understanding and almost, if I can say, allowing yourself to see the truth, allowing yourself to know the truth, and allowing yourself to recognize that you don't have to be the one who does everything all the time, that you can distribute and even out. Don't carry those burdens on your own. Don't. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Now, look what we have in the body block. In the body block, we have this beautiful feather. And, you know, if you're ever walking and you see a feather on the road, that is a sign that spirit is near. It's a message from spirit. And this is spirit saying that we've got you. We've got your back. We're taking care of you, because the feather is basically on her back. Okay. So spirit have got your back. Spirit are taking care of you. They're looking after you, looking after your physical being. But you've got to learn to let go. You've got to learn to let go of all the stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. We have got 2 charms left. And we've got this one sitting in the block of unknown. Now, it has landed upside down. I just want you to see in the block of unknown. It has landed upside down. I'm going to flip it over now so that I know exactly what's written on the other side. That's why I'm grinning like a Cheshire cat. So, in the block of unknown, just what does spirit need you to know right here and right now? Never, never give up. But it's about recognizing the journey, recognizing the fight, recognizing what you should be focusing on, and letting go of everything else, but never, never give up. And finally, in the center here, in the block of the heart, we have got this beautiful, beautiful little birdhouse. Beautiful little birdhouse that's hanging in the tree. It is utter perfection. You know, the birdhouse, their little homes are so tiny, their little homes are so small, but they have everything that they need. You know, it's good enough for their family. It's safe. It keeps them dry. It keeps them safe. It keeps them protected. And, you know, we make it pretty. We do all the crazy things to it, but the birds are just happy with a simple, functional life. So, friends, for those of you who chose the dog, and it's interesting, I want to bring the dog energy or the dog message into it as well, because dogs are about loyalty, unconditional love. The dog doesn't care what you look like. The dog doesn't care what kind of car you drive. The dog doesn't care what home you live in. As long as you love the dog will love you back. And if I look at everything that's going on here, this is spirit saying to you, don't overcomplicate things. Let's simplify. Let's simplify, and let's stop carrying so many people, so many situations, and so many circumstances. Let's learn to let that stuff go, and let's start focusing on what's truly important. We need to learn how to have more fun. We need to engage more in the things that bring us joy, and let everything else go. There are opportunities. I want to just bring this down again. Remember what we started off by saying is, let's celebrate our inner child. Let's let our inner child out. Let our inner child say, hey, I'm unhappy. I don't want that. I want more of this, less of that. Whatever it is, let your inner child speak. There is success amongst the family. We have luck around the family, so we don't have to worry about the family. And in the spirituality, there are opportunities around you, but you need to grab them, you need to take them, and you need to sit with them, okay? In order for them to develop, in order for them to happen. On a social level, just get more active, get more involved, get more engaged, get more participating. And, you know, don't worry about getting yourself dirty, because you can always clean it up later, okay? And never, 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 ever give up. Just let go of trying to carry other people all the time. Let other people deal with themselves for a change. You focus on you. If you can do that, if you can simplify your life, you will learn how to have more fun. You will learn how to just really appreciate the small things in life, because actually it's the small things in life that are the big things. All right. So, friends, I hope this message, this reading, has just given you whatever it is that you've needed in your life right now. I hope it's exactly what you needed to hear. Thank you. And with love and blessings, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.